for a little bit. So, I mean, they want to play physical football, and how they move the ball just might be a little different, but they still, it always starts up front, and they got a good line. And like I said, when those guys are healthy and they're running the ball, like they're running the ball on everybody. So we got to respect that.
You guys got hit with the pass interference that was obviously consequential on the last drive. What did you make of going two games before that without any defensive penalties?
Well, I had no idea, but that's a credit to the guys. One, overall, just making sure that means that they're playing with the right technique and all that stuff. And again, you talk about out on the edges. A lot of times you don't see the stuff in the interior because there's just a big mush of bodies in there. But anytime you're talking about the perimeter, you can see it. You can see it clear as day. And the technique just got away from him a little bit. He started to play it right, started to see the ball, and then at the last second he turned back into the guy to play a man. And if he had just still continued with the zone technique, I think he probably picks the ball off, and it's a different story. But those things happen. You trust him to be out there. He's made plenty of plays, so that stuff happens.
Did you you didn't like the level of aggression against Michigan State? You didn't like your level of aggression against Michigan State. Was it better against Merrill?
The young men, I think from the moment after the last game, the Michigan State game, they came in there and they had the right attitude. And it always starts with attitude, and they wanted to fix it. And it was one of those games where I told them before kickoff, I was like, I can get a vibe of the guys, and I felt like it was kind of like Illinois, where I'm like, you guys are gonna make it right today, and they did. They played their butts off. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect that. Those guys put themselves in a position to know what to do and to know how to do it, but then their mind was right. Their attitude was right, which is the most important thing. And it was fun watching them play. Like those kind of games, you just sit back and you just watch them play and you're in awe. Some of those plays were, Javen coming off of a block and then jumping on the guy, and as he's falling down to rip the ball out, that's unreal. Omar Brown is getting blocked. He arms over on the block, and then as he's tackling the guy, he sees the ball and then he rips out the ball. Like those are some big time plays, man. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt it. The coaching staff kind of felt it pre-kickoff, and again they went out there and we just had to make one or two more plays.
Coach, when you have a guy on staff that has previously coached on the same offense as Tanner Mordecai at Josh Martin at SMU, what kind of role does he have with this whole week?
Oh, we got all the info on the guy, man. We got, his girlfriend's birthday and all that stuff. We got all that info. But no, he's same thing you see on film. Respects his game. Really mobile quarterback. Very similar to the last couple guys we faced. They can run the ball on you, but they run around back there to extend the play and get the ball downfield. Good athletes. They can make all the throws. So. It's kind of interesting that you're seeing us play the same kind of quarterback like that. So, but we got to be ready for him. He's talented.
What's been the key to Omar solidifying himself this year? He's been the guy who's stayed healthy for one, but what's helped him out?
I think you said it. The one, staying healthy. Two, he's always been a playmaker. When he transferred in here, he had 8 or 9 picks from Northern Iowa, I believe it was. He's always been a playmaker, but those skills don't get a chance to shine if you don't put yourself in the right positions, right? That means you do things right on and off the field. You know what to do. You know how to do it. You take the technique and the teaching and stuff, and then you give yourself a chance to go out there and make plays that you can make, And he's a great example of that. So he don't play last year, and then, injuries and all this stuff on and off. And then every single time he gets his feet back on the ground and he's consistent about doing things right and playing, you see Omar show up. You see that playmaker in the run and pass game that everybody knows he can be. So now for him, it's just a matter of consistency, right? To always be the guy that he knows he can be. So.
What's been your thoughts on this team's ability to get up after a tough setback like Saturday?
No tough setbacks. We just say those are chances we get to play. When that ball's kicked off, you got 60 minutes to go play, right? So they work all year and they work all week. They take all these reps during the week. They get hit and all this stuff, lift all these weights. They got 50, 60, 70 plays in the game that they're going to get a chance to play, right? Of those 50, 60, 70 plays, We rotate guys. So you're talking about 35 to 40 chances you get to go out there and lay it on the line. So the defense plays their best ball when they get a chance to go play, and the cool thing is when you watch them run out of there, when those things happen, it's just like we said, hey, we get to go play. You know what I mean? And that's the neat thing about it. That's the attitude we're talking about. It's like, it does not matter. You know what I mean? It does not matter. We get a chance to go play ball. Let's go play ball.
How well has this team stayed together through adversity relative to other teams that you've seen or been on through the years?
I mean, again, I think that's the master plan with Coach. You know what I mean? Like all those, you never see it then, but over time you always see the genius come out. You know what I mean? And all the off season, all the time spent with them, all the interaction, all the chemistry building, all the us, like we're here, we're eye to eye. You know what I mean? And it's showing up in the adverse times, right? Because if you didn't have all that, if you don't have those relationships, if you haven't been through the fire with those guys in the off season, then when the adversity hits, it's me versus you instead of us. You know what I mean? Us figuring things out. So I think those are the times you get a chance to see, right, the words come to action. And that goes back to credit to everybody in the program in the off season, building those relationships. So that way, now those things happen. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's figure it out. So
with the run defense, how important has Gifford been in terms of stepping up and quickly filling some of those gaps?
Yeah, I mean, he's the rover for a reason, right? That's that hybrid guy, and we expect him to. He's plenty athletic enough. He's tough enough. He's athletic enough. Again, when he gets a chance to go down in the box, that's kind of cool to see him run around and act like a linebacker in there, But that's a credit to everybody, everybody up front. Really buying into understanding, like, hey, we don't want people to run the ball on us. Like, that's plain and simple. Like, we don't want you to run the ball on us, And it's the attitude. So all those guys up front, and then when it's their time to make a play, they make a play. So, and Giff has been one of those guys.
Your system not only have
Our system.
Our system,
Thank you.
your system. Not only have a lot of your players have not played in a 3-3-5 before, but it's something that, just in general, Nebraska defenses have played in. Did you anticipate having this much success implementing this unique style of football?
You know what? You have a standard that you play with, right? And then as you go and as you see where guys are, then you kind of adjust, right? That's what good staffs do. They figure out where to put guys, what kind of calls to make, what to kick out, what we can't do well, so we don't call it, And I think it's just a total. Any success goes to the number one, the players, believing in what we're doing and really putting the art on the grass, And then the two is the assistant coaches all coming together and meshing the ideas, right? And that's why I said it's our defense. Like that's one things that Coach Rule was awesome about was like, hey, this is the Nebraska defense. You know what I mean? And this is a group of guys coming together, a group of professionals coming together and saying, hey, we do this well, we don't do this well. Let's try this. And then in the end, you see those guys out there running around making plays, and it truly is the Nebraska defense. So I really take pride in saying our defense, the Nebraska defense. So.
Ask you about Ty Robinson. What's it been like coaching him? He's been through a few different defenses in his career. Has he grown up a little bit? No, not grown up, but has he sort of blossomed this year, you think?
Yeah, no, that's a great question right there, because I got mad respect for Ty. I was recruiting him at my old school, one of my old schools, when he was in high school from Arizona State, and you always saw the talent, and you always saw that. And then during the year, I think all of us have seen glimpses of him dominating. Right, you've seen stretches where he just decides like, hey, I'm better than everybody. And then I thought this last game, that was a performance that you look back and you say that was amazing what you did. I mean, he's moving opposite ways and sees a screen thrown the other side, and he puts a foot in the ground and he runs over there and he chases stuff down. I mean, he's taking on double teams and he's splitting them like they're not even there. I mean, I thought this last game really showed what Ty can do to Ty, and he was he's probably one of the best players on the field, period, last game. And it was awesome to see. And so now with Ty, the trick is how does he get himself back in that mode, have that attitude where he is, but it comes back to the practices, right? It always starts from the preparation, him knowing what to do, him going out there and practicing that all week and then living up to what he can do, So.
Tony?
Good.
Thank you.
Go after him, and again, John's got to get to class, so if you need him, jump out in the hallway. Questions?
Who repped today? What did your quarterback reps look like?
We're getting them all ready. Heinrich was limited today. He got to be out there, though, and go get a lot of mental reps. Chubba and Jeff both split the reps today in team periods and did a really nice job.
What's the key as a coach when, Jeff's had some turnovers when he's been out there to working with that mental part, I guess, of the game with him getting ready for the next one?
Well, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't really major in that. You just keep coaching, and for him, he just keeps playing. And, obviously we don't want to turn the ball over, and we can't turn the ball over. And you just, as me, my job is just to keep coaching him and making sure that I'm giving him every opportunity to be successful. So I've got to, if it's how I change how I talk to him during the game, during the practice week, whatever it is, I have to make sure that I'm giving the young man the best chance to go out there and be successful.
Can you speak to the challenge that Chubba had in coming in a tie game in the fourth quarter at the 3-yard line without the practice reps that the other guys have had and leading that drive?
It's amazing. I texted him after the game and said that was absolutely amazing because I can't maybe one or two of those plays he had gotten a rep on that week, this past week, and he went out. I said it all the time, like I trust him to go in. All three of them are going to have to play, and backed up in the pistol, and the snap was a little high the one time. He had to make a really tough catch to get the play started. But it was just really that was a very impressive thing for me to watch, and he did a really nice job of getting us down there with a chance to score.
How did you feel at the start of that? I mean, were you concerned? I know you say you have confidence in him, but just considering the situation, what was your mindset like?
Attack. I told Coach, I said, hey, Coach, how you want to play this? Because we were backed up. And I didn't really mean it as much about Chubba's in, how do you want to play, as much as just we're backed up here, how do we want to play it? He's like, attack, man, go win the game. Go win the game. And that's kind of the mindset we had. We didn't care who was in there playing quarterback. And, Chubba was in there, and we tried to give him every opportunity to win, and he did a nice job doing so.
How long has he been full go?
We may have limited him here and there, just to make sure that he doesn't pull a muscle or strain anything. But he's always out there practicing. There's never been a time if we needed him that he couldn't be out there and couldn't go.
What would you say is the root cause of a lot of these turnovers?
I think just experience and decision making, and I think that it's easy to stand up here and say, well, it's the quarterback's fault. Well, ultimately, I take full responsibility because I've got to train these guys into making sure they're seeing what they're seeing and seeing what they're supposed to be seeing and getting the ball where it's supposed to be. So I think experience, I think the more reps that we can get at it with some of these guys will improve the turnover issue. But I think we just have to keep plugging away and keep working at it. It's frustrating for them, frustrating for me, frustrating for our team. And so we just keep attacking it, talking about it, trying to make sure that we stay as far away as many of those as we possibly can. But we've got to improve that for sure.
Has there been a conversation maybe of taking a step back from the quarterback run game just because of the injuries that all these guys have kind of endured because of that?
I think naturally you have to, you can't play scared, you can't play stupid, but you can't play scared. I think we have to be, cognizant of who's out there and what we're asking them to do from a physical standpoint. You can utilize quarterback run game and they can take care of themselves and slide and not take big hits like Heinrich does sometimes, just trying to run through people. So I think you just, it's it's went from, hey, get as many yards as you can to possibly, you know, if you can get down and take care of yourself, get down and take care of yourself.
With Sims, is it more about decision making because he does have experience?
I think it's decision making within our offense, not being in this offense, you know, a long time, and you know he got 2 games early. He's been sitting on the sideline now for a couple games and coming back in. It's like restarting a season for him. So it's ultimately decision making, you know, by all of us. But you know, I think that he's committed. He's out there today, had a great attitude, good energy about him. He's committed to going out there, and obviously nobody wants to throw interceptions, and so I think he's working very diligently at making sure that we're prepared and those don't happen.
Coach Rule said the other day, I just want our guys to play, and you kind of said it earlier, you can't just play like you don't want to make mistakes with that idea in mind. How important is that mindset to you to instill in these guys, like on the 3rd and goal or whatever, like let's play like we normally
Play to win the game. And like we can't let exterior factors affect anything that we do, from practice, from preparation to the way we play the game. I'm going to kind of go off on not a tirade here, but like we may not be playing at an elite level right now, but you all don't see what I see as far as how they come to work and the energy that they practice with and the preparation that they do, teammates that they are. It's really cool. This group is getting better and better and better, and our best days are ahead of us, and I think that they're coming soon. And I can't wait, to see all this come to fruition, this hard work. I'm really proud of the way that they're attacking this thing, because it's not easy, and they're not making excuses. They're just getting up and attacking it every single day, and I applaud them for it.
Coach Rule also talked about that day-by-day process. When in your career did you realize that's how it's got to be? Like, you got to get locked in on that.
Well, early on when you're young, it's like everything else. You want to just show up and learn some football plays and put them in, and everything work perfectly and get a lot of yards and score 60 points a game. And you realize that it's a process. Sometimes the process happens faster, but it's a process, and it is day by day, and it is hard and it is tough. So it takes special people to do those processes, and Coach Rule is one of the best at it.
You guys had to go to a 3rd quarterback on Saturday, so that obviously that can happen. And with Heinrich as limited as he is now, who do you get ready behind Chuba and Jeff?
We're getting all 3 of them ready, and that's not coach talk. I mean, we have to have, as we all saw on Saturday, like we're going to have to have all 3 of them to try to help us move the ball and score points. So they all have to be ready. It may not be all of them getting the same amount of reps physically, but mentally they've got to get every single rep that takes place this week in practice.
Hey, what's
You'll decide late in the week who. I mean, they probably won't take 5 or 6 on the trip, right? So
No. Those 3 are the guys that we're going to get ready to go play the game, and get Heinrich as healthy as we can possibly get him, where he can go out there and contribute in some manner. And they can all do different things. They all have different skill sets, so they're all 3 going to have to get out there and help us, move the ball.
you got a big taste of the big.
I don't. Sometimes we just take 3 on the road because you have the travel limitations on. And it just depends, I think, on just our status of all 3 of those guys, making sure that if all 3 of them can get in the game, then I'd say we'd just go with 3.
Now you got a big taste of the Big Ten. What are the impressions? What impressions have you got from it?
It's like when I was in South Carolina last year, if I thought of the Big Ten, it's what it is. I mean, big, strong, physical. The defenses are unbelievably sound, and they make you work for everything. The details of getting the ball out and just playing 3rd down defense, red zone defense is it's very impressive. I think the coaching is at a very high level in this league, and the players are. I mean, there's no question. This is one of the toughest leagues in the country, and week in, week out, having to play these defenses is grueling, mentally and physically.
How's Emmett Johnson grown over the last back half of the schedule here, and maybe just kind of taking that opportunity to start and kind of be the guy?
Yeah, he keeps getting better. Keeps working at it. As we said last week, we got to get him more touches. Consistently get him more touches, and we did that last week. And I think it paid off for us. It was a nice run he had there at the end of that final drive, and I think his role keeps growing and his touches keep increasing. He's doing a really nice job.
What challenges in particular does Wisconsin's defense pose?
Just like I just said, they're big, physical, run to the football, play great team defense. They got 2 linebackers that fly sideline to sideline that are older guys that have played a lot of football. They've got 5 or 6 guys that play defensive line that look all the same. I mean, they're all just big, physical, just hard to move. Like, they get their feet in the ground, they're hard to move them. They got, 2 really good corners, one leading the league in interceptions, I believe. So you got to make sure you know where he is, and their scheme is very sound, and they make you have to play football and earn your yards and earn your points.
What are the challenges of just the next 2 games for you, playing Saturday night, getting home real late Sunday or early Sunday morning, then having to play short week Friday? How challenging is this to kind of close the season with almost 2 less days of recovery when you get back so late on Sunday?
It will be, I guess, a little bit of a challenge just from a time standpoint, but I think we'll get ahead a little bit this week, and by the time we get back Saturday night and get in the office on Sunday, we'll put this game away and get started on our next opponent, and it will be a little bit quicker. And then with the holiday, you kind of lose half a day there, which is good, getting to go home and do Thanksgiving, but we'll figure it out. We've been doing it for 20-something years now, so we'll figure it out.
Matt said earlier this week that the turnover, the interceptions, the fumbles, the play calling, that all falls on him. What goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
I think that he's a great leader. This is his program. Everything goes through him, and we all have our own things that we do, daily and throughout the game. So all had to get better and all had to improve on. Thank you.
Thanks.
Question for Omar, take us through that receiver screen and then strip fumble.
I told everybody after the play, like, I honestly wasn't trying to do it. Just kind of like just in a moment type of thing. I just happened to get off the block and grab the receiver and just rip the ball away from him, basically. Yeah.
Much of the emphasis is that in practice, just ripping the ball out.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of how it became just an instant thing, because we do it so much in practice, and like honestly, in the most recent weeks, we've been emphasizing that a lot. Just takeaways, whether that's intercepting the ball, taking away the ball, fumble. So we've been doing that every practice, and so we pretty much count them up, see how many we got, and it's kind of like a challenge for the defense, see who kind of gets the most. So yep.
How much of a payoff has this season been for you personally? Just, being out there all the time and making plays like you did Saturday.
Man, I'm honestly I've had fun all season just playing defense, especially with our defense. It's been real fun. I mean, some we haven't won some of the games we were supposed to, but just playing out there with that defense, it's a different type of feeling, and then it's a different connection. You feel connected to pretty much everybody, every position group. So I love it.
And Nebraska's never won Madison. I mean, how much are you guys looking forward to this opportunity to get a chance to get a win in Madison for the first time since they've joined the Big Ten?
Yeah, I actually have seen that. I didn't know that until I went in the locker room today, and it's kind of hung up all around the whole facility, pretty much just how we haven't beat them since, I think, 2012. And honestly, that's kind of a challenge for me. That's another challenge. I mean, pretty much for everybody, but I say, for me too, just that's kind of something you want to do. It's a goal, Obviously, they do that for a reason, pin everything up, and you see it, and you just kind of like for real, and then you see how teams might say certain things. It just pushes you and make you want to just do it, beat them. So that's kind of our edge.
You heard jump around a lot this week. Sounded like it was playing.
They played it. We locked in for real. That's kind of why he played it, because we ain't really worry about that. We worry about the game. We gonna celebrate when we get that win.
Do players even know that this is a trophy game? Like, that you guys play for a trophy?
I honestly don't think so. I don't think so at first, and then they realize it. My bad. They realize it later on in the week. Oh, okay, it's a trophy to this game. But I mean, shoot, I just want to win. I mean, I love the trophy. I love it, but I don't.
Freedom Trophy.
Freedom Trophy? Yep. Say less and get that Freedom Trophy.
What's the reaction in the locker room when you see all the facts about this series kind of back in your face?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know. So me seeing it, I had walked in this morning, and I kind of just looked at it and read it, all of it, just stuff they like screenshot on Twitter and stuff. And I had seen, like, I didn't know we haven't beaten them since 2012, so I was just kind of reading it, seeing the background behind things, and it kind of makes it more interesting for me. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, I didn't know that before, but now I know. Like, okay. So yeah.
What have you seen from Wisconsin's offense?
Yeah, they do just a lot of motion. Like they're not too much different from other teams. They got a receiver that always moves around a lot, like every other team. So just game planning throughout the week, getting ready for it. That's kind of what you practice for throughout the week. See what they done before against other teams. So yeah.
As a safety, how difficult is it to play against offenses that love to spread receivers out and then also have that run threat right down the middle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge because, it's kind of a two-street thing. They could go on the outside or they could run the ball. So just really on the outside, being able to guard or get off blocks, and then when the ball does come on the inside, just be able to collapse the ball and tackle it, to be honest.
Why or how has the team been able to stay as tight as it has through adversity? I don't think you see that everywhere in college football. What's been the key for you guys?
Yeah, man, I want to say us, and I want to say just the culture Coach Rule brought to us. Like, obviously, like, it's us because we're the ones playing, but at the same time, he kind of had brought that us. Like, when we lose a game, like, obviously it's frustrating and people are upset. So just being able to come back the next week, like, obviously you mad, you don't want to have that negative game, like, getting ready for it. So just staying close to each other, whether that's playing good in practice or doing outside things in practice. Like, we go out to eat as DBs and other position groups. So really just keeping that bond, like, no matter what happens on the field.
Is that new for you? Have you been on teams like that before?
I have, but I want to say, like, this one is a little different. It feels like more connected. Like, I feel like I know my position group. I feel like I know a lot of the DBs. I feel like I know a lot of my teammates, all of them, to be honest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got this game with Wisconsin. I mean, obviously there's some history. You guys have never won in Madison. I mean, what's your outlook heading into Madison?
Yeah, no, excited to go to Madison and for the night game, and just it's the same attitude that it has been all year. We're gonna go 1-0 this week. We're preparing to go 1-0 this week, and that's what we're gonna do.
They've got a pretty good running back, pretty good running scheme. How do you just go into this challenge, knowing that they're going to try to be really physical, obviously, up front?
Yeah, that's all year. The attitude's been that we're going to be the most physical unit on the field, and that's going to be our attitude going into this game. We're excited. We're excited for the challenge, and we're just excited to get out there and show what we can do.
Mm-hmm. And with slowing down some of those interior runs, how do you think that you've performed? Maybe getting off those blocks and quickly plugging those holes.
Yeah, no, I think the whole defensive line's been doing a really good job of that all year. Credit to a lot of the guys in the room. We rotate quite a bit. We have a lot of young players, old players going out there, and you never see a drop off between the older and younger guys, or whatever it is. So that's something that we're really proud of, and something that we're going to continue to do.
The Big Ten profile deal this week. You get any reaction from that with your family or your friends just watching the video?
Yeah, no, I'd especially my parents. They were super excited about it. They were more excited about it than me probably, and it was a pretty cool deal to get them involved with it and have them talk, and it was pretty cool.
Fun to see your old wrestling highlights make it on the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool.
Josh, what's kept this team together through the adversity, and how does that compare with other teams that you've been on?
I think the biggest thing for us is just the brotherhood that we built in the off season. All the work that we did in the off season, everything we've been through this season so far. It's just for me. There's just why would we stop doing what we're doing now? There's no point in that, and no good comes from that. We're going to continue to show up and be the same guys every day, doing it for each other out there on the field.
You've been around for a while. I mean, what's allowed Ty to elevate his play this year the way he has?
Yeah, Ty, I mean, he's been a really good player here for a long time now, and it's been awesome to just watch him continue to develop and have him around to help with the younger guys to develop in them. He's been a really good player this year, and it's just been a lot of fun to watch our room develop throughout this whole season.
Do you notice a difference in confidence with him? Like his confidence on the field this year versus maybe what it was, last year or something like that?
Oh yeah, no. When we go out, it's really fun this year. When we go out on the field, no matter what happens, what the situation is, the defense, we're excited to go out there. We're excited for whatever challenge is thrown our way. We want to just go out there and play football, and that's been really fun for us this year. I think is just no matter what the situation is, we're never going up and down. We're excited to go out there and play football and just to show what we can do.
Omar Brown mentioned there were some things in the locker room about the Wisconsin drought that Nebraska's in. Did you notice that, or was there anything in particular that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, they had it in the locker room this morning, and it's just that's what it is, and that's what people are saying. We're excited for the challenge.
Where does it rank as far as Camp Randall venues you've played in the Big Ten, as far as noise and atmospheres?
Yeah, no, Camp Randall's. It's a phenomenal atmosphere there. It's the night game atmosphere there is going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna go out there and we're just gonna feed off it, and we're gonna play like we can play.
All right, thank you.
Teddy,
Right,
Coach Rule said that was the best game the line played maybe all year last week. I mean, what jumped out about the performance of the line play? I know you guys lost, but what were some of the highlights for you guys?
Yeah, I thought that we did a good job of finishing on our guys. We got challenged last week not to be outworked, and we came into this week with that mindset as like no one's going to outwork us. So that started with practice, with preparation, and just brought that to the game. And I thought we did a good job with that.
You have your feet under you now with a few games at that spot.
Yeah. First game, shaking off some rust from that tackle position, but I feel like I'm comfortable now, and I'm seeing the defense a lot more clearly. So making communication or making calls that we need to make, and it's just each game you got to get better and better. So it's something to always improve on.
How reliable has Ben Scott been, just as the command center of that line?
Yeah, he's done a really good job, coming in here and getting in with us and, hanging out with us. And that's something that Coach Rail always preaches is, staying together. And when you have a center who has a personality that he has, it just helps with, the calls that he's making out in the field a lot. So he's done a good job of taking that center leadership role.
Teddy, it's pretty clear that a big emphasis with Coach Rule and what he wanted to bring to this program was resources for players as far as your health and your recovery ability, avoiding injury, avoiding re-injury. What have you seen in that from that area, and how have you benefited from everything that's available to you guys in the new building?
Yeah, well, they've done a good job, bringing the right guys in here. Mitch and Hobbs, they've done a real good job of kind of watching out for signs of potential risk or something like that. So when I was coming back from my shoulders, like certain things I couldn't do, they're like, all right, we're just going to come over here. And we have a super fun thing called the pit, where if you're an injured guy, you're going to go over there and you're going to keep working out. So, you're not just sitting on the side, but you're still getting work while you're down or while you're out. But, with this new building, the recovery things in there are insane. So, just being able to, build a relationship with those guys, talk to them, ask them, what can I do to, benefit myself, or what can I do to prevent injury? And they're going to walk you through it, teach you those things, and coach you up on that. So it's been real good.
What have you taken advantage of? What kind of technology? Or
So we got the huge cold tub. I'm always in there. We got red light beds, compression boots, new Theraguns that, just massage things out. They got whole new training room in there too, that, a bunch of new equipment in there that we can use to, build strength in certain parts of your body. So I've just kind of been smorgasbord, just use it all.
What's been the key for this team to be able to reset, whether it's a win or a loss, just go back to work the next Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, those Sunday meetings, they're always better after a win. They always feel a bit better because, you're going to take that coaching. But after losses, he doesn't, Coach Rule doesn't change. He's going to come in and, you could win a game. Here's what we got to improve on because it's going to show up later. You lose a game. This is why we lost, but we have to be able to improve on those things. And just coming in with that mindset of, all right, this is what they beat us on. We got to take that in and improve on that and other things outside of that in the next week.
What was it like to have Ethan on the sidelines this week?
Good. We were getting off the buses, and I looked at my phone quick. I saw that we got a text saying that he was going to be in the Unity Walk for us, so that was pretty cool seeing him there and having him on the sideline. He's just a high-energy guy. And to see him down and out like this, it sucks. But he's going to come in. When he's here, he's going to be the same old pipe, just, a little bit limited with his motion. So him on the sideline helping us out, trying to, I went up to him a couple times to ask some questions about protections and stuff. He's like, all right, if they doing this, you could do this and make this call. So, it's just help, an extra set of eyes with an experienced guy like him.
You have 3 quarterbacks working through injury and turnovers and things. What can your role be as an offensive lineman to show support and be there for those guys?
Just tell them, be there with them. Like, we got you. We're gonna, protect our ass off to make sure that you have clean pockets and stuff like that. You just, kind of support them through it, and they're all working super hard. And I trust all of them to do their job and get it done. So, just kind of be there for them and talk to them a little bit.
What do you think of the toughness Nuri's shown? I mean, he only missed 1 week due to that injury, coming right back out here playing the whole game again.
Yeah, no, Nuri's he's a hard-headed guy, and I kind of laughed for a second when he first told me that he's going to be back in a week. Like, he got the surgery and he came back. He's like, yeah, I could probably practice Thursday. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you're going to do that? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So, that just shows how much care he has for this program and other guys that are just battling to try and get back. Marquise Buford battled all season to get back, and Nuri's just kind of one of those guys that he's going to do what it takes to get back on the field.
Talk about Wisconsin. This game is kind of a rivalry. There's a trophy in line. I mean, what do you know about the Badgers and kind of the history of this series? Nebraska's never won in Madison since they joined the conference.
Yeah, I mean, they're a tough team, and Coach Donnie told us about how their backstory of being a tough team and how they kind of modeled back in the 90s based off what Nebraska was doing. We're going in with mindset of we got to out physical, just be more dominant on the offensive line side of things, and we know that they're going to bring some pressures, but we just got to be able to have our eyes up, focus, and make the adjustments that we need to make.
Does he talk about his time at Wisconsin a lot with you guys?
He'll tell us some stories and stuff, but he doesn't go into too much detail. But from the sounds of it, he had a good time there, and he represented well.
Did you learn anything from all the stuff that was up in the locker room about the Nebraska-Wisconsin rivalry?
I haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but I saw some things hanging up, so I was probably going to go through and look at those. I saw some. I was asking this morning. I was like, "What's that about?" But I saw the trophy. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a trophy game." So, I'll go read up on that.
Do you know what the name of the trophy is?
It's the Liberty Trophy, right, or something? No, close. No, what is it? I don't know. Freedom Trophy. Oh yeah, it's just a game, so we're just gonna go in there with that mindset. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys.
For you, with the quarterback situation, how different is it with each guy? Just kind of getting used to maybe how they manage the game, how they throw the ball, just the things they do to get ready for a game on Saturday.
Yeah, obviously every player has a different style to them, but we've gotten reps with all of them. They're all out there doing their thing, and I've had reps with Chuba, I've had reps with Heinrich, I've had reps with Jeff. So obviously it's a little different, I guess. Different quarterback throwing the ball. Everyone has a little different style, kind of, but it's all the same, kind of in the end.
What have you seen from Luke Lindenmeyer? He seems to hit a lot of really important blocks for the offense.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good blocker. He's got that blocking kind of stature to him. He's a great blocker. He's physical up front. He's done a great job at the role he has, and he's a huge role on this team, and I think he's really done a great job of developing into it. And I think it's good that it's getting noticed. It's just sometimes people don't always see the kind of trenches and people creating great blocks and gaps for the running backs to hit, and he's done a great job for us at doing that.
How would you describe the mindset of the offensive side of the ball, just the spirits of guys when some of these games, recent games haven't gone, the last 2 or 3 haven't gone the way you would like with the production that you're putting out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's upsetting and disappointing. We want to win the game. I mean, that's no question. But at the end of the day, it's what's next mentality. It's probably kind of annoying to y'all. We always say that, but that's just kind of how it is. I mean, if you kind of get sad about the last game and focus on the last game, you can't focus on what's next. And really, we just got to focus on going 1-0 every week, and that's just what's important because that's all that matters is the present, not like being kind of sad and worrying about what happened in the past.
Have you ever been on a team like that that's been so good at moving on and sort of staying out of the doldrums of adversity?
I mean, I really just high school. I mean, I would say we were pretty good at that, honestly. I think we had a great culture in high school, and we always just, we had a similar, we didn't say like what's next. We didn't have like a kind of mantra or anything like that. We just that's kind of how we just bounced back, and, we knew we could win the game. So like, if it was like tied in the fourth quarter, we'd know we're winning this game. It's kind of how it was, and I think it's how it is now. Honestly, we just gotta finish it.
Role pretty similar on a Sunday morning, whether it was a win or a loss. I mean, is it sort of the same? Like let's just look at the facts here of the film and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's sometimes different, but like there's been games that we've won that it's like we didn't win which is good because like there's so much things that we can get better at. I mean, yeah, we won, but here's the things that we need to fix. Because these are the things that could make us lose the next game. So I mean, yeah, it's similar. I mean, it's different, obviously. There's just kind of like a different vibe in the room. Everyone knows you didn't get the outcome you wanted the previous day, but yeah, like kind of like I said, like even if we do win, it's just sometimes it's like we lost because there's so much better. We could do so much better than what we did.
You played in that 21 game in Madison. What do you remember about playing in that stadium? That was your first game, obviously, that you saw action in as a Husker.
I had a welcome to Big Ten in that game. Pretty sure, I mean, it was a good moment. Finally, I got that out of the way early. But no, it was. I mean, they're a physical team. That's kind of that was kind of what they've always been ever since I watched them. Growing up, they've always been known for being physical, having had a strong run game. I remember, they've always had really good running backs, and they still do. So I don't expect anything different. Big physical up front, and just kind of have to just dominate the line.
What was the welcome to the Big Ten moment you had that game?
I had like a slice block. I was coming across the O-line and had a slice block on the D end, and I had a D end in the backer hit me and put me on my butt. So
this is a trophy game. Can we ask the guys this? Do you know what the name of the trophy is for this game?
It's in our locker. No, I can't think of it firsthand. Freedom Trophy. Yeah. It's got our stadium on it and the flag and everything. Yeah, we never won it though. It's going to change this Saturday, so.
Never won in Madison before. I mean, you guys talk about that, just the opportunity to do something that no Nebraska team has done since you guys have been in the Big Ten.
Yeah, we talked about it this morning. Obviously it's a big opportunity for us. Go 1-0 this week, get the trophy here. We never had it here before, and so I mean, that's something we definitely want to do and do as a team. It's just kind of it'd be something big. Obviously, this would be a trophy game, and then obviously going 1-0 this week, and then a bowl game and whatnot. So.
Coach Rose has, in some of these losses, especially after this last one, has tried to take some of the responsibility, put it on him, take it off of his offensive coordinator or players involved in a key play that didn't go well. What kind of an impact does that have within the locker room, within the football facility?
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely notice it. It's a little different. It makes you feel a little bit almost, I don't want to say better, but it kind of lightens the load off of you. You don't feel like you had made the team lose. I guess I don't really know how to explain it, but no, he does a great job with that. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's really us though. We gotta get the win. We gotta do what we need to do in order to make the play. It's not anyone but the team. So it's no one person. It's everybody. It's a team game. So we just gotta kind of like I said, just gotta execute every play at the highest level, and so we don't have those conversations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.